Hey guys, welcome. Today we are going to be learning a little bit about VirtualBox. VirtualBox is a virtual machine manager. If you don't know what virtual machines are, I would recommend researching it a little bit, how they work and whatnot. Um, Oracle is a free open source program that's compatible with Linux, Windows, and so on. It's very similar to Microsoft's Hyper-V, VMware, whatever, virtual machine managers. But it's free, so gotta love it, and it works on pretty much anything. So we're going to learn how to use this a bit, at least the method that I use. That works great. A couple of things we need to understand first before we get to this point. This is what the program looks like. Pretty easy to use once you get it installed. But let's walk through some installation processes. First thing you're going to want to probably do if you are using ISOs, and if you don't know what ISOs are, I also recommend YouTubing that. What an ISO is, how to get an image of an operating system. First thing we're going to want to do as a prerequisite is to install this program called Virtual Drive. This program, Virtual Drive, gives us a virtual, let's eject that, a virtual disk drive. So this is physically in my computer, the D drive. Okay, that's an actual DVD burner that I have in my computer. This is not in my computer physically. It's virtually installed in the operating system. Okay, and we can use this to mount ISOs. It's like putting a disk in the drive, but we're doing it in the software. So we need to install this virtual drive, which is my H drive. Okay, so to do that, pull up whatever browser it is you want to use, Firefox, Chrome, I like them both, and just do a search. I recommend Google. Google's, in my opinion, the best search engine available. Okay, and stay away from like CNET and FileHippo. You can go from redfox.bz here, or Elaborate Bytes. Should get you what you need. Download it and install it. Okay. When you're installing it, watch out for spamware. Read carefully every page of the installation process and decline any offers for extra software like Coupon Saver or whatever. So once you get the program installed, you will see that you have a new drive. Okay, whatever letter it assigns it. So pay attention to that. You might want to make a list of what you already have in here and see what it is after. If you aren't very familiar with what's in your computer. Virtual Clive gets installed. Virtual Clone gets installed, not stoned. That's what they're doing in Colorado and Washington. So nothing against that. Peeps do what they want. It's just a little gesture. So anyways, once you get it installed, we're going to want to download VirtualBox. Okay, so VirtualBox, it's by Oracle. Okay, look at that. First thing that shows up when I type in VirtualBox. No, I did use Google. Downloads, Oracle VM VirtualBox. You can tell it's highlighted. I've already downloaded and been using it. Okay, so if you're running Linux, Solaris. I never use Solaris. Don't even know what the heck it is. OS X if you're running a Mac. Windows hosts if you're running Windows, which you probably are if you're watching this video. Click here. It'll download it, save it. I already have it downloaded. Download the file, run the install package, install the program. Okay. Once you get the program installed, you're going to get an icon. Okay. On your desktop, it'll also show up under all programs. I think Oracle. I don't see Oracle. Here it is. Da-da-da. So there it is. If you hadn't pinned it, you can do whatever you want. Get VirtualBox on here, run the program, and huzzah. I have two machines on here. Yours will be a blank slate. I'm going to walk through installing a virtual machine with you here. Sorry, just making sure this is still working. This is the second take I've had to make of this video. For some reason, it stopped recording last time. If you notice, my time will be different. I went to the movies and watched Independence Day and came back, and I'm finishing the first half of this video, redoing it. So, anyways, once you get the program installed, you get to its main menu, and you're going to want to make a new virtual computer. Okay? Now, virtual machine, let's talk about that for a minute, okay? A virtual computer, or a virtual machine, is a virtual computer. So, in real life, you have your physical desktop, or laptop, whatever you're using, okay? It's a physical component. Virtual machine is a quote-unquote virtual computer inside of your computer. It's all software, okay? So, we're going to go ahead and make one. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do Windows 8, Microsoft, let's give it a name, 8.1. As you see, it auto-fills down here the type and the version. It knew Microsoft Windows 8.1. Shazam 64-bit is recommended for multiple reasons. So you give your computer that you're making, your virtual computer, a name. Okay, go ahead and hit next. And now it says, well, how much memory do you want to have in this computer? Well, let's see, how much RAM do I want to have in this computer? Something to bear in mind is it's actually going to use the RAM from your physical computer, your host computer, okay? I have 10 gigs of RAM in here. So, not a ton of RAM, but it's enough to get the job done, okay? So, I think that 3 gigs is a good amount. So I'm going to go with about 3 gigs, okay, somewhere around there. Now, it's not always going to be, it's not taking that aside permanently from your RAM on your physical host. It's just, this is what can be used up to. So if I have a bunch of computers and they all have 3 gigs, it's not 9 gigs being taken from my physical RAM, leaving me with 1 gig. It's just when we're using it, okay? Some servers have like terabytes of RAM, where they have tons of virtual machines in data centers and whatnot. So it can get pretty wild. Technology's really moved up. So anyways, I'm just gonna throw 3 gigs on here, or in other words 3,000 megabytes. Next, now we have to create a virtual hard disk, and the concept is the same. It's going to take hard drive space, hard drive memory from your physical hard drive. Okay, we're going to go ahead and leave this option here, create a virtual disk now. We got to have a hard drive in this computer in order to install an OS, right? So we just put RAM in the computer, the virtual, and now we're putting a hard drive in this virtual computer. Create. VDI is what I recommend for using VirtualBox. I do believe VHDs are also compatible with Hyper-V, but I could be mistaken. It's been a while since I've played with Hyper-V. I should probably look into that. But VDI, I would roll with that. Okay, so don't worry about what all those mean. It's just different file types for the drive. Now, when you are actually making the hard drive, you can either do dynamic or fixed. Okay, fixed size means, okay, this is what size I want to make the hard drive, and it stays. It doesn't get any bigger, it doesn't get any smaller. Dynamic means you give it a size max, so a maximum, or actually you might not have to give it a maximum. Let's take a look. Dynamically allocated. Please type the name. Okay, select the size. This size is the limit on the amount of file data that a virtual machine will be able to store. Okay, see, so file limit. I don't want to do dynamic. I want to do fixed. Okay. You can do whatever you want. I just like doing a fixed size. It's just how I roll. And let's give it, I like around 50 gigs for playing around with. That's plenty. Okay. Now, it's going to store this virtual hard disk natively in your user folder under VirtualBox, under a new folder it creates called Microsoft Windows 8.1, the name of this computer. Okay, that's where they're all stored. To see that, local C, users, your name of your profile, or your username, okay, VirtualBox VMs. You can see here, here's where they're stored at, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and create this disk. Now, remember this, as I said a minute ago, this video I had to remake. So we're going to go ahead and create this disk, and then I'm going to go ahead and stop the video, and I have the second portion of this video. This be a little weird pause for a minute, but just keep following along. So I'm going to go ahead and create. It's going to take a little bit, so hang in there, and we'll continue on in just a second. Alright guys, so I'm back. Got done with our virtual disk, virtual hard disk. So now you can see it added to my queue here, my list of virtual operating systems, my virtual machines. I now have the one I just created, okay? So now, all that is a name for the virtual machine that I gave it. So I don't have Windows 8.1 on there yet. I haven't installed it. I have a virtual computer right here. Okay, it's powered off. It's turned off. It's like a virtual desktop inside of my desktop. Kind of creepy, right? If we had little virtual humans dueling inside of our bodies. That'd be kind of weird. So, anyways, you have your machine, and now this is where we're going to get into how to set it up and configure this virtual computer. Okay, you can right-click, click on Settings. You can come up here and click on Settings once it's highlighted. Okay, get to the same menu just by right-clicking Settings. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and look at storage. You can see here that our disk drive is empty. It has two disks here. You got an optical drive, and you have a virtual disk hard drive. That drive that we just created. Okay. So think of it, that's like a physical hard drive, but it's not really physical. It's using hard drive space from our real hard drive, okay? So it took mine from my C drive. It's a terabyte, it's plenty of room. I don't do a whole lot on here, so everything I back up. So something to think about, how big is your hard drive? How much available room do you have before you build this virtual disk drive? I should have mentioned that earlier. Okay, so here's our second drive, our optical drive. Well, it's like a real computer. So we have a computer. We just slapped a label on our computer that says, hey, this is my Windows 8.1 computer, but I haven't installed my operating system yet. So now I have to install an operating system. Well, here's my disk drive. I got to boot to some media, okay? This is where Virtual Clone comes in play after you have that downloaded and installed. You can, I don't know what ISO you might have that you're using. If you don't have an ISO and you're wanting to install an OS, you can get the ISOs from Microsoft's website, okay? So you can just do search. So, and they give you trial versions you can run of an operating system. For example, let's say we want to run Server 2012 R2 evaluation download. Okay. You can try Windows Server 2012. Here you go. Make sure you're on Microsoft's website. Remember, whenever you search, make sure you're on a legitimate website. Okay. You can pop over to their website. You gotta make an account, a Microsoft account, and maybe I'll make another video on how to do all this. I don't want to do it now, but you can download all kinds of different ISOs here. Okay, so get your ISOs. Once you have your ISOs, I have a whole bunch already, so we're gonna upload one into our virtual drive, clone drive. Okay, so for me, if you look, my virtual clone drive is H drive. D drive is my physical drive. This is my virtual drive. Virtual meaning it's not physically in the computer, it's when it's a program. Okay, just like our virtual machine, it's all program. So, under attributes, optical drive, sure, SATA port, I don't care what SATA port it is. I just want to choose what drive from the host machine, in this regard, my physical computer, I want to use for the disk drive. If I had a disk, a Windows disk, I could put it in and choose this, and it will use my physical drive. If I don't, like in this scenario, then I'm going to use host drive, H. Okay, that's my virtual clone drive. Okay, so there we go. It's going to use that and boot to that. Okay, you can play around in some of these other settings. Boot order, optical's first. Should boot to it anyway, even if hard disk was first, because there's nothing on the hard disk. You can boot to network, floppy, whatever. I don't need a floppy. Who the heck uses a floppy nowadays? They're smoking something if they are. Or you just love nostalgia and playing with old stuff, which probably wouldn't even run this program anyway. Well, actually probably would. I'm blowing smoke probably myself. Audio, blah blah blah. Shouldn't have to mess with anything else. Shouldn't have to mess with anything else. Okay, so we select our H drive. Now, gonna hit OK. Now, go to the ISO wherever you have it downloaded, whatever ISO it is that you're using. In this case, mine's under my 2 terabyte backup. Blah blah blah. This drive is really slow. I don't know why. It takes forever. Must be 5400 RPM or something. Okay, so ISOs. Where's my Windows 8 Enterprise 8.1 ISO? Okay, so see how it has a little virtual clone dude on it, right? So we want to upload this, mount it to that H drive. That's like putting the disk inside of that virtual drive. I hope that makes sense. Put the disk in virtually, right click, mount it. Now if I go back to my H drive, I can see, hey look, it's got my Windows logo, or this is the Windows install icon, like a disk is in there. Okay, so I mounted my ISO into my H drive. So now it's there. This sees the H drive. It's using the H drive. So now I can start up my machine, or just double click on it, I believe. There you go. La la la. Hey, look at that. It's loading my ISO from the H drive. Ta-da. So that's basically it. Then you just run through the install just like you would on a computer. If you don't know how to run through an install on a computer, well, I guess you can watch through this, or you can go watch other videos about the fundamentals on installing a Windows OS. Unallocated, don't need to worry about formatting or anything. Just hit next, Windows will take care of it. You should probably learn about what unallocated space is and what partitions are and formatting and all that if you don't know in a separate video on Google or YouTube. Install your OS and yeah, that'll install an operating system for you, already pre-configured and everything. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. If you have questions, please shoot me a comment down below, and I'll do the best I can to answer it. I don't know everything. I far from know everything, but I do the best I can. And if I don't know it, I'll research it and try to help you figure it out. Maybe we'll learn something new together. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.